So end of day 3, it's like midnight, and there's still a bunch of people out there. And my first line leader, John. So at this point, I was now Bravo team leader, and he, obviously still you have a boss. And my first line leader is Alpha team leader, John. And John, we're radioing up, and we're like, "Hey, man, it is midnight. Like, we need to call it. We got to go to bed. We can't be wanting people in the dark. This is retarded." And command was like, no, get a few more through. So he just took it upon himself. I don't know if I've ever told this publicly before, but he just took it upon himself, and he goes out there. He's like, "You guys get the out of here, dude. We're done," and sent him off. And then we left, and then told them what we had done. Like, yeah, we told these guys to go home. So then they say, "Hey, well, you've got to do another day, because these people, they feel like they didn't get their opportunity." We're like, "Bro, they don't have an opportunity. That opportunity's already gone." Well, they don't know that, We didn't tell them who got picked, blah, blah, blah. So hearts and minds bullshit. So they go, we got to do one more day. So 4th day now of what was supposed to be a three-day mission, and we'd only been promised 3 peaceful days. So we go to S2 in the morning, the intel guys in the morning for a brief. And the intel guys say, "Hey, be on the lookout for a V-bed. We've got intel you're going to get hit with a V-bed." And we're just like, what the f*** are we doing?
It's a white pickup truck. Which one?
Make Toyota. Oh.
Yeah, dude. For real. They do say that kind of shit.
Yeah. And what's crazy is
Driver profile. Brown. Dope.
Dude, he's got a pointy chin.
I can't believe still, like, they were wanding until at night. They're making you wand at night is wild.
I was wondering, like, because there was a certain part in that story where you're just like, taking
dude,
it back.
like anything after night. I don't know, like, they were on lockdown. It's like, it's getting nighttime. They would just go in. That's why I'm like, what the f-?
We also had that, but I think the theory was these people were already there. They've been under Overwatch for a while, I guess. Anyway, so 4th day, we get told we're going to get hit with a V-bed. And we're like, all right. We get in the truck, dude. And I was like, all right, let's go get blown up because we know how this is going to go. And we ride the truck through the base or whatever and get there. And we get to the man gate, and there's like 1,000 Iraqis lined up already at the gate. And these are not punctual people. So we know, already, like something is, something's wrong, So we radio up and we're like, "Hey, this is bad. These people, they shouldn't be here like this, whatever." And they're like, "Roger, continue mission." That's not a verbatim quote, but that's essentially what we got told. And so John and I go up to the gate, and we're like looking. We already set up our security positions and blocking positions and stuff. And then we go up to the gate, and we're looking. And I was like, "Dude, I don't want to put my guys out there. This is insane. This is just a terrible idea." And he feels exactly the same. And he's the boss, obviously. And he says, "All right, yeah, we'll go out there." I said, "All right, works for me." And so we get our interpreter, who we called Carlos, because he looked like he was from Juarez, even though he was from like southern Iraq.
Mexican looking.
San Antonio guy.
I'll find a picture and show you. I don't want it to be on the internet in case he's still alive,
Yeah.
And we're like, "Hey, Carlos, we're going out here and we're going to start asking questions and see what's up." So we go out, start asking questions, try to keep this fast. And, it's like, "Why are you here right now?" And the answers are, either my cleric told me to be here, or I just wanted the best chance of the job, basically. And we're like, I mean, neither one of these are actually good answers, Like, I don't believe you. And then this dude comes up and he starts tapping on my shoulder. He's like pretty frantic. And I don't know what he's saying. Like, I knew some words, but they were not friendly words. So I have no idea what he's hollering at me in Arabic, And I'm like, "Carlos, translate this. Like, tell me what's up." And he's like, he says he sees a grenade with wires. And I'm like, all right, so we got a tripwire out here somewhere? I mean, that's where my brain went. And so at that time, we had like the prick radios for, comms. And then our team had an internal system. So you could like push the button here and just talk only to your team, so you could like play those games that you're not supposed to play. Like,
Yep.
you know, like when you're like Hillary Clinton. You know what I mean? And that's not a Fed thing. It's a different. It's a toy. We want to know if you would marry Hillary Clinton. Is that game? So like internal comms, we were like, hey, don't come out here. We don't know what you think. There's tripwire, so on. And then this semi truck crashes through our concertina wire on the eastern perimeter we'd set up. And of course, everyone's thinking, holy shit, that's a big ass V-bed. Like, this is going to be bad.
Massive V-bed. Did you get lit up instant?
Oh, yeah. So everyone, including an Abrams, but not with a main gun.
Okay.
Yeah. Which would have been badass, but it didn't. Dope. We're like, send it, dude. So everyone's, now we've got that situation to deal with. And Iraqis are running around all over the place. And John's like, do you want to take the truck or the crowd? And I was like, I'll take the crowd. You go get the truck. And then we got some help from Colonel Mack, and his PSD team came out trying to like round these Iraqis back up. And then a couple of dog handlers, Sergeant Can and Chessie was his first name, I think. He came out, and we had their dogs, trying to get this crowd under control. And we were putting them in lines, and we needed to have, like, do you have a government-issued ID? Do you not have a government-issued ID? Do you have a government-issued ID and you are a former Ba'athist? Because if you are, then we'll just fake it,
Yeah.
So we were doing that, and then I'm like, my medic was a former 82nd guy on the infantry side. And he's, sitting in the gun. He's like, let me out there. He's getting pissed. So I'm talking to him, and I'm like, no, stay in there. We're good. And then I hear, like, looking over the brim of my K-pot, I see this dog growling, and it's got this dude's arm in his mouth. And all of a sudden, it's just like two white flashes. And I thought we got hit with IDF, with like rockets or mortars or missiles or something.
Is it indirect fire?
Yep. Yeah, not that country that everyone likes to talk about.
Well,
just making jokes.
Also, the K-pot is
Different.
definitely you're getting on equipment too. You're like, I had a K-pot. I'm like, no, Mitch's even.
Yeah.
They just
dude.
really screwed you over
Yeah.
on all equipment. At
Yeah,
that
we
point.
were. What was that?
but Mitch was like, that's the thing you wanted at the time?
Oh yeah, Mitch
Oh.
was the night. Like he had to have a K-pot.
Sucked.
And then did you have like the M82 old jungle?
We were the first brigade to field the pajamas, the ACUs.
Oh no shit.
And it was dog shit. Everyone hated them. But we did have, so we had DCU like pouches and all that shit. But then our, what was the
IFAC.
IFAC? Our IFAC was, or not IFAC.
No, what is it called? The
IBA.
IBA.
Yeah.
IBAs. Yeah. IBA.
Was it
IBAs.
I think it was,
I
It's
had
like
whatever it
Flak,
was.
Flakfest, IBA, right?
Yeah, I mean, we had like plates or whatever, but yes.
Sappy plates and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yep. And so it goes off, and I thought we got hit with rockets or mortars or something, because there was like two, at least in my head, two distinct explosions. And I woke up on the ground, up, and I thought I was dead, man. I could just see, so my, like, all the bones in my right hand were broken, and my right radius and ulnar were broken, but my right humerus wasn't. And then my left humerus was broken, and then this hand was like functional. So I got myself propped up on my elbow, and I was looking down, and I could just see like guts. And I thought I was for sure. I was like, "You're blown in half. You're dude. Like, you're dead." And I was like rubbing this organ in my fingers, trying to figure out if it was mine. I didn't pass anatomy, so I didn't even know if you could like feel these things. Yeah. So I'm like,
I love your brain. It's like, shit, is this mine? I don't feel it. Should I feel this? I don't know.
exactly.
How far was the
Like
guy?
15 meters or so.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was pretty close. And at that time, I can hear John yelling, like every Mick kid, right? You go by Mac. Everyone calls you Mac. It's not even optional. It's just like tradition or something. So I can hear him yelling, Mac, Mac, Mac. And I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. One thing movies get right is it does almost sound like you're drowning, that you're,
Underwater distortion.
Yep. And so I was like trying to get oriented. And then I start feeling like some weight go off my body a little bit. And then pretty soon those guts got like pulled away, and then I could see like my hips and shit. And then they rolled me over. So now I'm thinking like, at least I'm not blown in half. And then they rolled me over, and then I could see my legs, and my legs are just absolutely like, I've got bilateral femur fractures and bilateral hip fractures, and I had like something like 30 holes in between my knees and hips on each side. And
Dear God.
like my tibia was up. Yeah, when they rolled me over, it was like a bag of wrenches, you know?
No shit.
Yeah, it was bad.
And then, holy damn.
I'm blown away just because like the fact that you're clearly mobile and like you look great, like just walking around, like I would never have expected something that bad.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's wild. Because he was like, yeah, as Brandon is saying, you would never tell just by your mobility, motion, standing.
No.
Like, but 30 holes, and then how many? Your arteries, did it miss everything on your
No,
arteries?
so
okay, I'm like, what the?
When your femurs break, your glutes and your quads are so strong that they contract.
So shunting.
Yep.
And then this terrifying part, go on.
Yep. So then the compartment syndrome started right then, and it kind of worked out because it acted like an internal tourniquet. So when they started cutting my uniform off, and my medic was out there at this point, and he was cutting my uniform off, and he gets like to my thighs. Now I can start to see like holes, and then I was thinking, you're still probably fucked, you know, because like that's bad. And then he gets up like a little higher, and he's like, "You're not wearing underwear." And I'm like, "You dude, it's cold out here."
I love the mindset. It's still the joke.
Is that one of the things you thought was like, is my dick good?
Well, yeah, because I didn't wear underwear, so he could just like see it. And as soon as he said that, I was like, I'm good, man.
I just got out of the pool.
Yeah.
I was in the pool. So I'll speed it up here.
No, I'd like, by all means, like this is, unless you're not comfortable talking about it, but I think that is, a lot of people just don't understand that kind of trauma, or that how fast everything happens, but then how slow everything happens at the same time.
Yeah, it feels like an eternity. And when I could see all the holes, like some of them, not every one of them, every time my heart would beat, you could see just blood like run out. But because of that compartment syndrome, it wasn't like squirting or anything. It was all pretty deep. I always say it looks like if you took like a water bottle and took the lid off and just like squoze it rhythmically. That's what it looked like. And so then they're trying to figure out what to do. Tourniquets were not exactly a great option because there were so many problems. So they just bandaged it, and they're like, "We got to get you the out of here, man." And they put me on a 5-ton to medevac. Which I don't even know. Do they even have suspension on those things? Because it didn't feel like it.
No. A horse and carriage is pretty much what they put you on.
Yeah, exactly. Go get my old man's wagon, dude.
Yeah,
That'd be way
the
better than
Amish
this.
showed up. You're just like,
Just like wooden wheels on the rocks.
It's like the prank videos they do where they try to like get the thieves in the back of a box truck, and then as soon as they get it, they roll the door down and then just drive them around. Just fucking get them flopping to one side or the other.
Pretty much how it was, except for strapped to a litter.
Well,
you
thank
know?
God they have at least nice roads out there.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Very nice.
Really
roads.
soft.
Yeah, the Iraq roads.
Dude.
They're known world over for how nice their roads.
The Navajo res, actually, I won't go there. If anyone's drove through like Four Corners, it's basically like that. This is how the Iraq roads are. No fault of the Navajos, I guess. That's what I'm told. No offense, Navajos. My grandfather had a feather from the Navajo tribe, so I feel like I get a...
Is that like you're like, I have a black friend?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a feather. Yeah. No, I really do love Indians. I grew up with them. I'm joking. Well, not the ones that hit bridges very much, but... I don't know if beers was a good idea.
By all means,
question
have
my
another.
choice on booze. So you, man.
Philip's going to have a heart attack over there.
I know. He's like, oh, he thumbs up.
He's
We're
fine.
good.
Thumbs
He's
up.
like, this is great. So the compartment, dude.
Start
So that
slurring.
saved your life too.
Oh, totally did. Oh, and it gets better. The roads. We get to Ogden Gate, which is like the rear gate of the FOB Ramadi at the time, and the troop medical clinic is like right down that. The hospital for the base was right down that road. Some sergeant major had put speed bumps down there because people were speeding or whatever. Yeah, so there's like speed bump, boom, boom. Like this is
You can't get to the. Oh my God,
Dear
that's such a
God.
sergeant major thing to do too.
bro. And you know, I'm not gonna. You know, it's like some logistics guy that was just bored or some shit
Yeah.
too. He's like, the only soldier I lost rolled his fucking truck.
We gotta slow down in here unless there's an emergency, and now I can't get to the
Exactly.
med base fast
my
enough.
God.
I got a commendation because I put in speed
he
bumps
probably
like that.
did too. He like ran some risk assessment. And was like, hey, you know, gets his nerd quant glasses out.
Have you seen Generation Kill
Love it.
back in the day? It was like, you got to police that mustache.
Yeah,
That's who makes me think about put the speed bumps there.
Dear.
Police that mustache.
Didn't even think about the downsides to why you might need to get around quickly on the base, especially.
Especially to the medical clinic.
Yeah,
What's
kind of
wrong?
important. Kind of important.
Why would you ever need to get people there fast?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Especially with a black fly zone, so getting a aerial medevac is almost impossible anyway.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was bad.
So you got speed bumps. You're just
Oh yeah.
bouncing your way.
Oh yeah. And then we get-
Morphine yet? Did they hit
No,
you?
so
Jesus.
well, yeah, no, probably lucky on that one.
Yeah.
And we get to the medical clinic, and then they start doing the blood pressure and all that shit, which we didn't have that capability in our aid bags at that time. I'm sure they do now, but we get to the aid station, and they start working on you or whatever, and they kind of immediately realize you got to get somewhere like a trauma hospital. This is not good. So they put lines in, start pumping blood into my body, but they wouldn't give me any morphine because my blood pressure was so low. It would just kill you. So they do that, and then they put me on a bird, and the idea was go to Balad, the Air Force Base.
Yep.
And that's where you want to go. That's where like the smart people are with like they have TVs and shit.
Two movie theaters. They have a swimming pool, outdoor and indoor pool. Trust me. That's where if you were good, you got to go to Balad. I know Balad.
So I grew up in the public education system of Alabama. Where's Balad at?
Balad is it's an Air Force base in Iraq. It was more Moqtadiya.
Yeah,
River
wasn't
area.
it closer to Erbil? Is that
Yeah,
where it was at?
it's like in between. You had Baghdad and then Moqtadiya, and I think it's like
But
the
that's
Diyala
where like
River.
the good doctors were there.
Yes.
right?
Yeah, the Air Force. The people that
Air Force.
Yeah,
was
the
there.
Air Force.
Okay,
lived.
I understand now.
Air Force lived there. It was dope as shit.
dude, yeah. So we get up in the air, and there was a couple of us on there, including the dog. His name is Bruno, and he was on there. He lived. The dog did. Sergeant Can, unfortunately, passed away, and Colonel Mack died as well, which sucked. Both.
Was he a full bird or just a lieutenant?
Lieutenant Colonel.
That's wild to lose a lieutenant colonel.
The
too.
balls that guy had.
Yeah,
man.
to be out there too.
Dude, he's out there with a bunch of 5s, 6s, 4s. I think the next highest ranking guy was a 6 that was
Yeah.
actually out there.
Oh, so same blast got them as well.
Yeah, Colonel Mack, it sucked, man. Like we all liked him because he was just like that. He was a true leader. He just came up to me right before I got wounded, and he's like, "I know you got some Copenhagen." I'm like, "Yeah, I do." So I can like give him a dip, and he's like, "This shit's." I'm like, "I know, sir." And then he was awesome, man. So he was a great guy, dude. I don't want to get depressed about it, but so he passed away, and then Dog Handler Sergeant Can, also a great guy. Sergeant Can had been at FOB Hit on the Syrian border, way over there, and he was bored as shit. He's like, you guys got to get me to Ramadi. That's where everyone's doing shit. So he had volunteered to get over to Ramadi too. So it's just a bunch of the best dudes in the world, great guy. He passed away. Bruno made it, and then actually deployed again to Afghanistan.
No shit.
Yep.
The hard ass dog right there.
Hard ass dog, man. That dog was badass. And right before he got wounded, one of the things I had said to Can over the radio was actually it was face to face. He's like, "You want us to come out and help?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm glad you got that dog off my truck because he was just out there sleeping, on my hood. Just joking because we loved him, Yeah, he's a stud. So we get to the aid station, get in the bird, and I get like barely coherent at this point. And we take off, and we're trying to get to Balad, and they ended up stopping in Tequatum, TQ, because I was losing too much blood. And so they started like more blood, more saline or whatever it is in those IV bags.
How much blood have they put in at this point? It had to be
It was
liters.
a lot. Oh yeah, it was definitely a lot. And then we take off from there, but I still just had them in my arms, like the lines. I think it's hard to remember exactly. And then
I don't think
were you?
What the? Give me the details, bro. You only had 30 holes in you.
Kind of a lot going on.
Yeah.
Like, were you conscious for all of this?
Yeah.
Or? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you start to go in and out from pain a little bit, but and then we take off from TQ, and we end up stopping in Fallujah for emergency surgery. They're like, Fallujah had a better trauma hospital than Ramadi. They're like, this guy's not gonna make it. So stopped in Fallujah, and they put a PICC line in my jugular, and I think that one either had 2 or 4 bags going in, and they put me in traction splints, and they split my quads from like knee to hip on both sides to try to relieve the compartment syndrome.
And what is compartment syndrome?
It's like your body starts swelling from the inside out, essentially. So like all of your fluids are like, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but your fluids start pressing both directions, I guess. It's just creating pressure inside.
It essentially saved you and also very bad at the same time.
Exactly.
Because how many minutes is this? Is like minutes in. Your femoral, especially if both were cut. If you're hitting the femoral and compartment syndrome didn't happen, you have 2 to 4 minutes to live max.
Yeah.
Max.
You're just leaking blood everywhere.
Yeah, and it's not leaking. It is squirting across the goddamn room. Like where he was saying, oh, it's this little pump that every time your heart beats for arteries, it shoots across the goddamn room. So
that's the high pressure side.
Yeah.
If you're into trucks or whatever.
Yeah, but yours is like, oh, hey, compartment that syndrome is just crushing everything. Wild, especially with that many holes too.
Oh, dude, it sucked. Yeah. And I would say, to add to his point, if you're like a truck guy, it'd be like putting a channel, or not a channel lock, a vice grip on a line or something, to like slow it down. So we get to Fallujah, they get me in traction splints, and then they split that knee to hip on each side, and that really sucked because you're like virtually no pain medication at all at this point, and you're like your brain's barely there, but you can hear it when the scalpel goes. You can like hear it in your ears. It's weird. I would say it sounds like a muddy zipper.
Yeah.
So that sucked. And then once they got me stabilized-ish there, then they hit me with morphine. Or maybe it was at Balad that they did that, but they finally got me to Balad, and then it was morphine hell and all that until they finally got me to Landstuhl, and then from Landstuhl to Walter Reed. And so that was...
Damn. So how many minutes was from explosion to actual morphine then? Did they say if they ever told you?
I don't know for sure. It was a while though. It wasn't, well, I don't know. I guess I don't really know for sure. When I wrote the book, I went back to my medical records and then talked to my friends, because obviously I'm not going to have a clear memory of stuff. So I remember things one way, and then I would talk to my buddies and be like, does that sound right? So I'd try to get as right as possible. So whatever I've got in there is probably going to be closer, but I don't think you could, like, they don't write it down. What they do though is the minute you're off the field, they scan your ID card, your CAC card, and you stop getting combat pay.
They made sure of that real quick.
That is the most government shit I've ever heard.
They're like, bro, where's his ID card?
We need that. We got to stop it. Okay. And he's taxed again. Woo.